Hey guys, what's up? This is Mel, and I'm here to talk about Shadowhunters episode 205, titled Dust and Shadows, which premiered Monday, January 30th, 2017 on Freeform, released on the 31st on Netflix, which is where I watched it on, so that's why you're kind of getting a delay afterwards. But before we get right into it, guys, huge spoiler alert. Once again, if you haven't watched the episode beforehand, I highly suggest you go do that first, and then come see what I thought about the episode itself. Otherwise, all my other reminders are up on the screen as you see fit right now. So let's try to talk about this episode in 10 minutes. Let's see if I can do it. And let's begin. So what happened in this episode? So pretty much timeline-wise, we are 2 days after the demon attack in 204, the previous episode. So Jocelyn has been dead for 2 days. And the episode reminder is pretty much the aftermath of Jocelyn's death. That's pretty much the main focus of the episode. And speaking of focus, let's go into the episode breakdown. Storyline-wise, again, it still revolves around the aftermath of the demon attack, but one main storyline is the fact that Clary attempts to resurrect Jocelyn. She got the idea when they brought up the fact that Simon had died and then he came back as a vampire, so why not have a possibility of resurrecting Jocelyn? Because of that, she has backup in the form of Alec, despite the fact that Magnus tells her no, Jace tells her not to do it, but Alec does because he is overwhelmed by guilt over the fact that he was instrumental in killing Jocelyn since the demon possessed him when the kill happened. So that's kind of a side point as well. You see Alec trying to deal with the guilt as best, in not best way as possible, but in his own way. Also, we see in the aftermath, we have Jace being cleared of all charges, yet he has been banned from all field duty by Victor Aldertree. We also see Isabel training again, even though she's fighting off a venom infection she got from the demon attack. We also learn that she has wanted to meet the Iron Sisters, which is the next mission in the works. But because of the venom, she can't go, so she agrees to take this very concentrated healing paste that seems to do something to her. So I'll get back to that later on, though. Another side thing going on in this episode was Simon returning home. And eventually that leads to trouble when his sister takes away his blood supply, thinking that it's fake blood for his concert, but then that also leads to a hungry Simon telling his mother that he's a vampire. She doesn't believe him, of course, but then she catches him feeding on a rat. Episode ends with the funeral for the dead Shadowhunters as well as the dead Silent Brothers due to Valentine's attack. Everyone in attendance is wearing all white. We see Clary breaking down in Jace's arms, which leads to him fully announcing Jocelyn as one of the Fallen. We see Alec breaking down as he stands in the crowd when it comes to her. And then we also see the whole process, the whole farewell done for all the Fallen, as well as we see the souls of the dead leaving their body and scattering to the skies. I think until they make their way to the City of Bones, or if they just scattered to the skies. But character-wise, we do meet a warlock named Iris Rouse. She claims she could raise the dead. Apparently she does, but she doesn't really do it without strings attached. She's also behind the plot of breeding new warlock babies to build her own army against Valentine, since the numbers for warlocks are dwindling. We also meet Madzi, the goddaughter of Iris, and she's also a warlock since she has gills on her neck, and she's only a little girl. So as you remember, warlocks are the mix of demon and human, who happen to take on some kind of weird animal trait, as well as getting the power to use magic, from the sounds of it. In regards to runes, we do see two specific runes. Alec uses a rune that he activates on his hand before he jumps off the roof of the Institute. So I don't know if that rune is for durability or if it's for high jumps or whatever, but he does use that rune. So if you guys know the name of that one, just let me know in the comments down below. We also see the new rune being formed through Clary. She sees a vision of a rune, draws it on her hand, and uses it to burst a ray of sunlight directly at the demon that's trying to come at her. However, this rune disappears after it's been used. So only her and Jace know about this, though, but it is a new rune that they don't have a name for yet. So there's that. Last moment of the episode, though, was we see a naked Luke in the forest as he sees the scattered souls in the skies of the fallen, and it's moments before he transforms back into a werewolf, and it seems he has blood on his hands, his face. So he's been running off as a wolf since the death of Jocelyn, from the looks of it. Tidbits, though, we found out in this episode that Simon speaks Hebrew. Magnus's mom had killed herself when Magnus was 9. This is when his cat eyes showed up, and that's when she realized that it was a sign that she had conceived with a demon. So instead of dealing with it, she killed herself. We also get the full extent of the situation with Valentine, where it's been announced that he has the Mortal Cup and the Soul Sword, which makes it 2 of the 3 mortal instruments that he has. We also found out that Victor Eldertree was a field medic before he got into the whole diplomacy thing among the Shadowhunters. So what was the most shocking moment of the episode? I'd have to say that Clary is wanted by Iris to breed a new strain of warlock. Iris wants to produce a warlock that is part Shadowhunter, part demon, and see how that bears against the fight against Valentine. So there's that. Also, that has me wondering, isn't that kind of what Jace is supposedly with the whole experimentation? But we'll get into that later on. But moving on to top 3 favorite moments, I have to say one of my favorite moments has to be between Magnus and Clary. It's when Magnus gives Clary a photo he took of her and her mom the day he met Clary. I thought that was really sweet. I thought it was just great dynamic between the two, how Magnus was trying to tell Clary it was okay to grieve and that it's okay to like miss her mom and everything, but she can't do anything further past grieving, and just him bringing up these memories and like sharing them with her, since he kind of erased a few of her memories because of it. So I really like that scene for sure. Another favorite of mine has to be the training scene between Jace and Isabel. I really like the dynamic. I really like how they work together. If you didn't know any better, I would think that there was something going on between the two of them, but that's not the case. They definitely have a very interesting dynamic. They feed off of each other very well. They definitely can joke with each other as well as get down to business. So I really like seeing the two of them back at it together, I guess you can say. Now, another favorite moment of mine is how protective Alec was over Clary when going against Iris Rouse. Whenever something like this happens with Clary and Alec specifically, I really enjoy it because I really love their love-hate dynamic. I really like that even though to each other Alec kind of gives off the impression that he doesn't like Clary, hates her, but then when it really comes down to it, he will be full-on protective. You would think he's pretty much taken on the big brother role that kind of fits with it, but I really like their dynamic. I really like in this episode they were teaming up together. I really like that they're trying to, like, they were on the same page from the looks of it. And I just really like it. And then Alec being overprotective of Clary, meeting with this Iris warlock alone. And then when he couldn't find her, how he tried to do everything he could to get to her. I really liked it. And I was kind of disappointed that it wasn't Alec that found Clary and saw her defeat the demon, but I guess Jason and Clary needed to have a moment together too, though. But I really wanted to see what would have happened if Alec had found Clary at that moment. So there's that. Moving on to top 3 peeved moments. I only have the one, and it was the fact that Victor Aldertree benched Jace just because he saved his life instead of going after the sword. In Victor's mind, he would have rather died than have Valentine escape with the soul sword, which is what Jace didn't do. He saved him instead of going after him. So it's just like warped thinking, but it just sucks that Jace is getting punished for it, even though technically he got rewarded for it in a sense. I don't know. But moving on to what will I remember most when I look back on this episode, it's pretty much the funeral of Jocelyn and the aftermath of her death. That's going to be a big reminder for sure. I think the whole Clary and Alec thing is definitely going to be something I'm going to remember. Moving on though, random questions. First one being, is Victor Aldertree trying to sabotage the Institute from within? I mean, from the looks of it, he's benching Jace, who is one of their best Shadowhunters. And then it looks like with the pace that he gave Isabel, that he warned her against, it looks like he may have gotten her addicted to something very powerful in that regard, because her reaction just didn't seem normal. So I'm wondering if he got her addicted to that to make her distracted, since she's also a great Shadowhunter. But I'm wondering, if that's the case, why is he doing it? I don't trust Victor. I really think he has another agenda behind it. But the fact that he did those two actions, there's a timer in this episode, has me more suspicious than ever against him. Also, speaking of that pace with Isabel, do you think there's something more that's happening between them? Because I feel like they've focused a lot of her reactions. And then the first time he puts it on her, there's a stream of a tear flowing from her eye, like instantaneous of when he puts it on her, as if like she's in pain, but the pleasure of it is overpowering the pain that put it, unless she's feeling an enormous amount of relief over the pain she initially was feeling. So it's just, I don't know, it has me a little skeptical about that whole paste thing. But what do you guys think about that? Last question. Clary got a new vision for that sunlight rune, and then she drew it on her hand. Now, where did she get these visions from, and why was that moment the right moment she got that vision? Did she do anything different? Did she say anything? Did she feel anything or pray anything that allowed for this vision to come forth with her? That's my question. I'm pretty sure they explained it in the books, but again, it's been a while since I've read them. I've only read the first 3. So if you have an answer for that, let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear about it. Otherwise, I'm going to have to wait and see if it's answered on the show. Moving on to predictions very quickly, since the timer went off. Based off the promo for 206, it looks like Magnus and Alec have their first date. It's about time, for sure. Also, it shows that Clary and Isabel go to meet the Iron Sisters, only to be forced into a purity test where they step in water that doesn't lie. So that'll be interesting. But based off the synopsis, though, it reads that Clary and Isabel head to the Citadel looking for answers. To help get answers to what Valentine may be planning, they are sent on a mission to visit the Iron Sisters. Once there, more truths may be revealed than Izzy and Clary planned. On a mission of their own, Simon and Mia are determined to find Luke, who is still missing after the demon attack at the Institute. Meanwhile, Magnus and Alec finally go on their first date. So that sounds like a whole bunch of fun going on in next week's episode. But based off new questions off that, Isabel's secret, I'm thinking it has to deal with the whole yin fei paste, or that healing paste or whatever. I think it has to do with that. Clary's secret, I think it could be made towards her feelings for Jace, or the extent of what her feelings are for him. So there's that. And also another question, will Clary and Jace look more into Clary's new skill set, and will they still keep it between the two of them, or will they share it with Alec and Isabel, and the likes of that? So I guess that's about it. What did you guys think of the episode? What did you guys like about it? What do you think is going to happen next? Let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear your own thoughts, theories, opinions about what you think is going to happen next. Also, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and check out my other videos if you haven't done so already. If you want, check me out on Tumblr. The link for that is down below. I read blog promos, web clips, quotes, GIFs, synopses, news, all that good stuff. So follow me there if you like. I organize it as best I can. Also, my WordPress shows the organization of that over there, so go follow me there if you want, or go check it out. It's still a work in progress, but it connects you to everything I post online. So there is that. But that's about it, guys. So thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you come back next week to see what I have to say about the next episode. But until then, guys, this is Mel. Wishing you a great day, great week, wherever you are. Bye for now.